Woo. What's up, everybody? NorbCam coming at you on this winter wonderland walk talk. I haven't done one in a while. Thought it was too beautiful of a morning to not get out there and enjoy it. AD, what's up? The artist formerly known as Anthony D. AD was in the house. Seahawks Martin, winter wonderland. If you guys are here in the Pacific Northwest, you know what I'm talking about. Here in my home area of Renton, Washington, it's currently sunny skies actually, but very cold. It's about 28 degrees. It's supposed to get even colder tomorrow. It's supposed to get to like the teens by tomorrow morning. It won't get any higher than like 25 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be a little slick and icy. A lot of events have been canceled for the day. AD says it's below freezing in Yakima. I'm sure it's much colder over there. Minus 11 in Washington State. Where are you at? But yeah, I love it though. I don't care, you know, even though it becomes a hassle driving around and things like that. Still, the snow comes out, gets on the road, and brings me back to my childhood days of hoping it'll snow and it'll stick and they'll cancel stuff. We're on break right now anyway, so there's not really school to be canceled. But I was supposed to PA announce a girls basketball game tonight. I've been doing that for the season, just got started. They canceled that game due to the icy conditions out there. But we're rolling today, so I'm excited to be jumping on with you guys. You know, it's that time of the year, you know, Christmas right around the corner and end of the season nearing. And, you know, talking about the Seahawks. Where are we going to finish up in this very unexpected, strange season? What's up, Yo's Yaz? Doing pretty good. I try to read the comments as they come. But just a few more days before Christmas, we have the upcoming game. And pardon me if my nose runs because it's cold out here. The cold tends to do that. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. But we got the game coming up on Saturday, Christmas Eve game, Seahawks. And Merry Christmas, Zach. The Christmas Eve game between the Seahawks and the Chiefs. Try to imagine how cold it'll be. This is 28 degrees, and it's supposed to be 15 degrees in Kansas City when the Seahawks play the Chiefs. And it's supposed to be, it'll be the second coldest Seahawks game ever, second only to that -6 game that they played in Minnesota back in, I think, 2015, that wild card game when they had to play outside against the Vikings. Remember that game? The Blair Walsh shanked field goal game. We got to take a shot of this. This is beautiful. But yeah, so it's going to be icy. Seahawks aren't used to that. They don't even practice outside in the cold. So they're going to go out there and they're like, woo, it's cold out there in here, Kansas City. I feel like Geno says if I feel we did make the playoffs, it would be a one and done. I'd rather not make it and see what decision we made for quarterback. Yeah, the game is in Kansas City, as I said. Look at this pretty view. I'll have to show you my Christmas lights decoration setup. It's pretty nice for what it is. I kind of like it. I'm going to walk down my usual route because I never showed you where the route goes, if you're curious. So my house starts right here. So then I walk down basically, so I start here, walk down here. This is where the trailhead starts. Go down here, up around here. That's where the road crosses. Over here, back out where the power lines are. Back up through here, back to the main road. And then I usually go down this way and back to my place. That's the route we're going today, folks. Here in the beautiful neighborhood of Woodside. All right. I got my hand warmers. Try to keep my fingers somewhat warm during this. Mostly the coldest part is my face, my fingers too, but hand warmers help with that. Deal Brown says Niners could make the championships. Just defense, but Cowboys and Eagles will be the biggest roadblock. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the playoffs play out. Let's just talk a little bit about the current state of the Seahawks. It's very interesting because despite everything that's happened this year, with all the different, with all the ups and downs, and the Geno Smith incredible statistical year he's had, it's funny. A lot of people still, I see a lot of people just still hating on and doubting Geno Smith, which is pretty shocking to me because, yeah, we haven't done so well. And if you look at the end result, if that's all you're looking at, yeah, we lost 4 of the last 5 games. You know, things definitely not as good as you'd like them to be. But you can't put that on Geno. I mean, when Geno was playing well, and, you know, you can say this for every team. Every team that's got, when their defense is playing well, and during that stretch when we won like 4 straight, you know, we beat Arizona twice, we beat the Giants, we beat the Chargers. That was the sweet spot of the schedule, right? We started off rough. Yeah, we beat Denver, then we lost the Saints, lost against the Falcons, beat the Lions barely. It was a very up and down, weird, like, what the heck is going on? Our defense is terrible. Then all of a sudden the defense like got good. It was like, oh, wow, the defense is suddenly locking things down. They're getting pressure, getting interceptions. And Geno's playing lights out. Kev Walker starts blowing up the run game. So we had all 3 phases kind of working out. But then, pretty much since the Tampa Bay game, it's just been defense going back to its old ways where you can't stop the run. The offense not being able to run. We haven't been able to run the football really effectively for like 5 straight games. Even in that win against the Rams. And so you combine bad defense with the lack of a run game, you can't expect Geno to carry the team on his shoulders. I mean, that's really unrealistic for any team. You got to have complementary football. You got to have some productivity out of all 3 phases. Heck, if we just are average at defense, average at running the football, I think Geno plays well enough to win most of those games. And really, we could have, with the exception of maybe the Panthers game, which is unbelievable that the Panthers would be one of the teams that beat us pretty soundly. But we could have easily been in that, definitely the Tampa Bay game. That one slipped through our fingers. Raiders, that was overtime. Clearly, we had a chance to win that game. Like I said, the Panthers game was ugly because we couldn't stop the run. And then the game against the last game against the 49ers. We were in that game. And I said at the 2-minute warning of the first half, I said, wow, this is a good game. Hello. Excuse me. Right? I don't know if you guys remember from my game reaction. I was saying to my buddy Phil, so this is a good game. Quote me at 2 minutes left of the first half. This is a good game. Seahawks are playing well. We were only down 7-3. And we had the football. With a chance to close out the half with some points. Everything was setting up perfectly. And then 2 huge plays that pretty much doomed the Seahawks. You know what I'm talking about. Quandre Diggs. God bless him, man, because I do love me some Quandre Diggs. But, man, if there was ever a game-changing play that could not have been handed to you any easier, was that one right there, right? Interception should have been had, thrown right to his chest. He catches that football in stride. He's at least in 49er territory. Hey, Alina, how are you doing? Happy holidays to you. You know what I'm saying? The Seahawks end up in at least 49 territory, and I contend that given the way the field looked, he could have taken that thing around the left sideline, maybe even took a pick six. If not, he's well into field goal range at the minimum. All right, so that's play number one. And if we get that, we either go up 10-7 or we get within a point at 7-6 with Jason Myers, who, I got to say again, Jason Myers is having a career year. Dude has been almost perfect. Missed one kick all year. Michael Dixon, Jason Myers, got to keep these guys for a long time because these guys are freaking lights out. Best players on the team right now. Most consistent. All right, so there was that, right? And then you make that 7-6 or 10-7 going to the second half. You know, it's a whole nother ball game. We're right there like starting a whole new game, fresh set of downs, brand new score, possibly the lead. But then he drops it, right? So the Niners hit the punt, but the defense makes the stop. And then we get the ball and I go, okay, Geno time. Let's see what Geno, you've done it before. We know you can do it. Let's see if you can do it again. Let's get one more 2-minute drive here, this time at the end of the first half to get some points. And we're moving the ball. We got timeouts, all that stuff. And then Travis Homer, coming out of the backfield with that catch and run. His two defenders close to the first down marker. I can't remember where we were at. We were like 35, 40-yard line, something like that. Fumbles the football. 49ers pick it up, scamper down the left sideline. Till like the 8-yard line. Next thing you know, 49ers are punching it in right before the whistle. And then makes it 14-3. 2 plays into the second half. Blown coverage. Apparently, Tariq Woolen was supposed to stay in the back right third. Oh, hi, doggy. What's up, puppy? Hello. Got people out enjoying the snow just like me today. And so he blows. He doesn't stay in his deep third. Lets Kittle. He jumps the crossing route, expecting there to be a throw there. Leaves his side of the field vacated, and Kittle gets it wide open. Runs it for a touchdown. 21-3. Pretty much game over against a team like that. But that happened all in like a span of a minute. So while it seems like we kind of got creamed in that game, and we did kind of manage to get it close, we got one particular call that negated a pick six that gave us negated the pick six against us. That would have made like 28-3. But heck, we've had our share of bad calls. They're not going our way either. But you're right, Alina. We weren't expected to go anywhere. So if you look at your expectations for the beginning of the year, me included, I remember often saying, hey, if we just win that first game against the Broncos and lose the rest, I think I'll still be fine. Whoa! Slick ice right there. Almost took a spill right here. So our expectations, I think, have just been kind of teased with because we started kind of like we got the win. We were excited, right? And then we lost right away to 49 badly. So like, oh, okay, maybe we just sort of had our best game right there. And it's all going to be like we expected. But then we lost some, we won some, and then we got hot. And all of a sudden it's like, woo, Geno playing unexpectedly. Team's record is first place. You know, all of a sudden it felt like, And then you start changing your expectations. You start getting delusions of grandeur. You get these ideas that, Super Bowl, playoffs, who knows? So we got a little tease there. But you know what? And then we came crashing down reality the last 4 games. But nevertheless, we were definitely in several of those games. But what you realize that here we are sitting at 7-7. That, you know, the good teams find ways to win, and the not so good teams find excuses. And I find myself saying all these excuses of, oh, you know, we were this close. If we'd only done this, if we'd just gotten that, if we stopped this play, if we made this play. But the teams that are sitting there at 13-2 or 11-3 or whatever, I mean, these are the teams that are, they're the ones that are, they don't fall into that position where you're having to blame the refs or making excuses of if we'd only made that play. But it's true. So I think we're better, a little bit better than our record shows, but the bottom line is the inability to stop the run really is what's been killing Seattle. Sadly, that's been the thing that's been our Achilles heel. Not quarterback play. So it spurs the debate about what should we do with that Broncos pick that will probably be number 3. I don't know. Could be 2, but 2 or 3, something like that. Unless all of a sudden the Broncos start winning with Russell Wilson not at quarterback. We shall see. But I guess for now, let's look at what our chances are. What could possibly happen here in the last stretch? We got 3 games to go. And Seattle, amazingly, despite how bad it feels right now, Seattle's actually still in a pretty good spot. Seattle's still in striking range of making the playoffs. Now they're on the outside looking in, trying to make one of those 3 wild card spots. I should just say the 3rd wild card spot. They don't have a chance to get the other 2. So their only chance is they've got to leapfrog the Commanders. If they can, and the Commanders got us by half a game right now because of their tie. We're 7-7, they're 7-6-1, so they got a half a game up on us. So, what does that mean? Well, 3 games to go. We've got to do 1 game better than the Commanders is what it comes down to. If the Commanders win 3 and we win 2, not going to make it. If the Commanders win 3, we win 3, not going to make it either. The Commanders have to lose 1 more game than us. Pretty much comes down to that. And oh, by the way, we also have to worry about the Detroit Lions breathing down our necks because they're currently tied with us. The good thing there is that we beat them head-to-head earlier in the season. So even if they finish tied with us, let's say the Commanders win 1 game and we win 2, right? That would put us ahead of the Commanders. And let's say the Detroit Lions win 2. That would put the Commanders a half game behind the 2 of us, and the Lions and the Seahawks would be tied. And that would give us the wild card edge because we would win by the tiebreaker and we would get the 3rd spot. So it's really that. It's really a 2-team race to the finish with 3 games to go. We've got to do 1 better than the Commanders, and we just got to keep pace with the Lions. That's it. We get 2 of those 3 situations, the 3rd being no playoffs. If we do 2 of those 3 things, or if we do those 2 things, we would get a playoff spot. I don't know who we would play right now. Obviously, there's a lot of shuffling still in the wild card spot. A lot of stuff can happen. But we are technically in the driver's seat to a degree, except the Commanders. Commanders got to lose 1 more than us. So there's still that shot. And I've always said, those people who are just all into, let's just tank the season, get that high draft pick, blah, blah, blah. We already got a high draft pick. But I am not a favor of tanking. Heck, wasn't it exciting? Yeah, even though right now it's not feeling that great. And in the end, we could not make the playoffs, but we still could. And I particularly enjoyed that stretch of time when we were winning games. You want to go to the stadium, you want to watch the TV and know that your team's going to be entertaining to watch. You only got so many years in this world, right? I know some of you guys are youngsters, so that doesn't really matter. But for me, and like my dad, there's only so many seasons we got left to watch together. And I particularly like watching games where we win more than I like watching games where we lose. And so I like being in the mix. I like competing. I like, fighting and having every game mean something. I want to go into the game against the Rams in January, that final game of the year. I want that game to matter. Now, it's possible things might be already locked up by then, whether to our advantage or to our disadvantage. But I want that game to have meaning, that if we don't win that game, it's like a playoff game. It'll already be like the playoffs, where we have to beat the Rams or the Commanders get in, or we got to beat the Rams or the Lions might win. I want all those things to come into play. The worst thing is to come into that game and be knocked out for the playoffs and have nothing as exciting to play for, and the season being done. Hey, you can imagine if you were Broncos fans or Texans fans, you got to keep trying to find reasons why you're going to motivate yourself to go. Watch your pathetic excuse for a team try to win games. And the only silver lining is a better draft pick. There's more to life than draft picks. All right, look at Baker Mayfield, right? Came out, everyone thought top of the class, he's going to be great. Kind of flamed out in Cleveland, goes to Carolina. Not so good there. Gets traded or goes to the Rams. And he has this magical night comeback against the Raiders. How the hell that happened, I don't know. But it's exciting. It's cool. But then, what did you do last week? Or just a few days ago? Pretty flat. Another crash course back down to reality. I think more proof to show you that just because you're getting not only a number one draft pick, but a top draft pick, there are no guarantees that this guy's going to be your franchise quarterback. Geno Smith, while I had no faith in the beginning, I'll admit that, I was not a Geno Smith believer. He's proven to me with his consistency that he is good enough to win and be a franchise quarterback. With this asterisk, you've got to build the pieces around him to be a successful team. Because he can play lights out, which he has in many games that we still lost because our defense was so crappy. We seriously need to address the defense. Because look at this. Look at the 49ers. Why are the 49ers so good right now? Is it because they have this great quarterback? They were doing fine with Garoppolo. They're doing fine with Purdy. They weren't doing so good with Trey Lance. Probably the best thing that ever happened to the 49ers this year is Trey Lance getting injured. That's our fault. We're the ones who took him out. But, I think you could interchange Garoppolo and Purdy. It's just a well-designed offense. But look, the bottom line is you've got a generational defense right now in the 49ers. They're really good. And you've got a bunch of weapons around them and a good scheme. I'll credit Kyle Shanahan with a very inventive scheme that just works so where the quarterback doesn't have to be heroic. He doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes to get wins. Excuse me for a second. Glad you didn't have to see that. That's gross. That's disgusting. I remember I did that when I was an exchange student in Japan. Called that a cowboy blow, right? And my Japanese friend at the time said, "You are the most disgusting man I have ever met." Oh, you called the farmer blow. I called it the cowboy blow. It's one and the same. Oh, no wide open pastures. I ain't got time for tissue or handkerchiefs. Just be in my sleeve. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. 49ers with that world-beating defense. But look, what did it take for them to get there? They had to suck for like half a decade. They were the bottom of the NFC. We were whooping them twice a year, easily, from pretty much 2015 up to 2019. And what came with that were very high draft picks that resulted in, the Nick Bosas and outstanding linebackers and all that. So now we have an opportunity to have the express lanes to drafting high without sucking for 3 years, right? Thanks to the Denver Broncos trade. Not that we can get it all in one draft, but heck, we've already pretty much addressed cornerbacks. I feel pretty good about. I'm gonna show you this view though. Yeah, how beautiful that is. It's beautiful. Doesn't that look like a monster? If you animated that, see if they like start walking towards you. Big like eyes and horns. This is the body. This is the legs. That's the, I can totally see that thing like coming to life. I used to be scared of those when I was a kid for that very reason. Anyway, so Seattle has a chance to shore up, which is clearly their weakest part of the football right now, and that is their defense. We need more up front on the defensive line. I don't know about this 3-4 scheme that we switched to. It's like, I feel like they switched to a 3-4, but they didn't have the personnel to make a 3-4 work as effectively as you need to. Like if I had a choice, I'd be like, hey, you know what? Let's just go back to our 4-3. Let's go back to a 4-3, 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. We've done it this way forever. We tried it, didn't work. Let's go back to it, and let's continue to build. I still think we need to draft a linebacker. Jordan Brooks is all right. Cody Barton, and I'm not feeling it. But basically having just 2 linebackers in the middle of the field back there, the 2 of them aren't getting it done. They get too easily washed out of plays. And again, with the 4-3, maybe that doesn't happen. So we got to just address the line. Could always use more pass rushers, linebacker. And safety, you got to wonder about that. But we are getting Jamal Adams back next year. People forget about him because it's easy to forget when the guy's been gone the whole year and most of last year. And we know how good he is at stopping the run. So it's like getting a new player next year because we didn't have him this year. So maybe we don't have to be in a hurry to get another safety yet. Look at this tree that fell across the path. This wasn't here last time. Rains mixed in with some wind a few days ago. Knocked that baby right out of its loose footing. Like 2 trees fell down. But probably one fell and took the other one out with it. That just happened somewhat recently. At least within the last week or so. Ooh, and there's another one over there. Scary. What's with the tweet on John wanting a new new head coach? I don't know about that. Offensively, oh, and by the way, if you didn't, I'm sure you already heard Tyler Lockett. Here's the other tree that fell over. Waiting for Bigfoot to come out behind that tree. That's pretty funny. Apollonia! Yeah, this would be a creepy spot to get like jumped by a bear or a cougar or a mountain lion or something. What city do I live in? I live in the city of Renton. Renton, Washington. Anyway, so on offense, battery's starting to run low. I didn't charge it fully before this, so if it runs out. SC Sports Talk channel, member of NorbFam, thank you. Renton in the house, Alina. Woot, woot. Let's see. So there's on offense. Oh yeah, I was just saying, Tyler Lockett had to have surgery, had a broken finger. And he had surgery, and they're saying he'll be back maybe after this game. He'll miss the Kansas City game, which is going to be really helpful for our offense. But he might be back for the last two. They say the surgery went really well, and he may actually be able to be back for the last two games, which is great. It's great. But on offense, you know, I don't know what Goodwin's contract is. He's turned out to be a pretty good third receiver. I don't feel like the receiver is a big issue. Tight end, I feel pretty good about our tight end situation. Running back, obviously, we got really thin. Kenneth Walker is still dealing with an ankle injury. Don't know if he's going to play on Saturday. Find out in the injury report on Friday. Or maybe tomorrow. So we might need to continue to look for running backs. Seems like we constantly have to keep looking for running backs. And the offensive line, I am feeling like we need a more muscle in on the center position and guard. I think our tackles will be fine, but we've had too many problems with guys on the interior just busting through, and that ain't getting it done. So those are kind of the primary needs I see Seattle having to address. So quarterback is very low on the list, in my opinion. Should we still draft somebody? I still think they should look. But I feel like the Seahawks will probably, probably drop back in the draft, get a few more picks, and try to have a little bit more quantity there at those positions that I just talked about. But quarterback is not one that they need. So we'll see. That's not till April. But as far as the remaining games, I'll be live streaming the KC game. I feel he's couldn't even warn you in time. Feels like 18 in my house, isn't it? And that's what it's gonna be. 15. Kansas City's out here. I would love for it to snow. Actually, I don't think it's gonna. But I'd love to see a snow game. If we're gonna lose, might as well lose and fun. But I don't see us beating KC. It would take like a miracle and a half, a bunch of fluky, weird stuff to happen. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Apollonia. Oh, it's that time of the year again. There we go. There she blows. It's funny, get moving. It's amazing how your body just warm up. I'm like sweating under this jacket. Even my hands aren't cold anymore. Just my face. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. So what do you guys? Breezy up here. I don't know if you hear me. How would I feel about drafting Will Anderson out of Alabama? I will confess that I'm not a big college guy. I don't follow college football, so I don't really know, the players that are, outstanding in their positions versus a tackle. All I can go off is a position of need. But defensive end is definitely one we can use some more help in. All right, out from the power lines, back onto the main road, as I mentioned. Hopefully I don't get run over. But yeah, so Kansas City, not looking so good. So the question is, are the Jets or the Rams a threat? I would normally say, hey, well, we're playing at home. That home field advantage ain't nothing anymore. Sad to say. But we haven't won a game at home in like 2 months. right? I mean, the last time we won a game was against the Giants before the Tampa Bay Germany game. That felt like eons ago. That was like late October, I think. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a minute. It's been over a month plus, month and a half since we won a game at home. We've lost 3 straight home games. Raiders, Panthers, 49ers. So, yeah, not good, not good. But you never know. The Jets struggled as of late, kind of losing a couple games where they were kind of on fire for a while. And the Rams, God, talk about a team that decimated with injuries. They had so many injuries to offensive line, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald. I mean, pretty much. I mean, they mortgaged their future to win, last year, and they got it. But man, talk about hitting, bottom after that. They just the injury bug really killed them. The quarterback too, Matt Stafford, for that matter. I mean, all your expensive guys, all sitting on the bench, and a bunch of no offensive lineman depth. Kind of hard to win, and it's not happening. They're having like the worst record of a Super Bowl champion in their following season. I think the worst record in the history of the NFL. Pretty sure. Pretty bad. I don't see things getting much better for them because they really gave things up last year. Hope it was worth it. So, Jets, Rams to finish out the season. Like I said, I hope that Rams game means something. And we better doggone to get that win. Because there'll be nothing suckier than to have playoffs in our midst. Like win it in our grasp at home. Like win and move on. It'd be basically like an advanced playoff game. That's what I really want. I want the last game of the year. Be careful what you wish for, because I might be bad. But I would love to have it where the last home game is a win or go home game against the Rams. I mean, that would just be epic. I think that last game just so huge from a excitement standpoint, from a morale standpoint, would like to get a win at home finally standpoint. So we'll see how it goes. But we got to at least win one of the next 2 games. We've got to find a way to beat definitely the Jets, since I don't see a KC win happening here. And we got to pray that the Commanders lose at least one of these next 2 games to make it interesting. Preferably 2. And they play the 49ers, I believe, which that bodes well for us for next week. So, God, I got to be a 49er fan next week, I guess, is what that means. Somebody, who was it? Alina saying, is there a way to get Bobby Wagner back from the Rams? That'd be interesting, right? I know why they let him go. I wasn't surprised. As soon as the Russell Wilson trade happened, I was like, Bobby's next. Because even before the trade of Russ was official, I was already thinking of the current contract. How are they gonna bring Bobby back at the contract he's at? It was a huge cap hit. Not the kind of situation working with a team that looked to be going into a rebuild year. Now, if we'd known how the season was going to play out and how badly the defense was going to play and how good Geno Smith was going to be, and the fact that we would have been in first place at a certain point of the year, if they'd known all that, they might have gone back and talked a little bit more with Bobby about the situation. But I really don't think, as much as in those press conferences, which I told you before, I think press conferences is a bunch of BS. The only time a press conference is of any use is after a win, because everybody's happy and you talk about all the good stuff. But when you lose, when you make a trade that everyone's upset about, and they try to explain it, you're never getting the truth. And, they're going to say whatever they got to say, or say nothing at all. And so when they say, oh, yeah, are you surprised, Coach, that Geno Smith is having such a great year? Oh, no. We knew what we had all along. Geno's been, he's been working it. He's been here all these years, and he was ready for this moment. Inside, he's going, I had no idea Geno could play like this. Damn, I love it. So if they had known that it was going to be like this, I'm sure they would have, you know, figured out, maybe talk, at least have a little more negotiation with Bobby Wagner about, maybe, hey, would you restructure your deal or something, bring you back for at least another year. So that one, I think, is just didn't quite go the way we would have liked it to. Anyway, but too late for that. But could that something be worked out in the future? Now that he's no longer under contract, and you know, maybe the Rams will have to go in their own rebuild. Maybe they'll release Bobby Wagner. I don't know what the deal is currently right now. He signed a contract though, so I don't know how he gets out from under the contract with the Rams. I can't remember the deal, but they paid him pretty good. So he's not going to be just let go. They're going to try to find a trading partner somehow to get some of that money off their books or something, or else they're kind of stuck with him for a couple of years. So I just don't see that really happening. Uh-oh. Cowboy time. So here's where we stand. That is the current case for the Seahawks right now. Can we do a collab show together on my YouTube channel? It says SG Sports Talk. Should have done that last week when before the 49er game. That would have been a good time to do it. But yeah, you know, we'll talk about it. We'll see how things play out, and maybe leading into this finale of the season, especially if the Seahawks actually sneak into the playoffs. Then, you know, anything could happen. We could end up playing the 49ers again. Who knows? Almost to home. Battery's almost dead. But I will be doing videos to come. Besides obviously the Kansas City Chiefs game on Saturday morning here at 10 o'clock on the Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be watching that with my dad, my mom squealing in the background. And tomorrow I'm doing a roundtable with the boys, with Juan and Vinny. And then I have a surprise video that's coming up. I'm about ready to put it together, that I will probably put out on Friday. But is my own special rendition of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," NFL 2022 style. You won't want to miss that. So I'm going to post that on Friday, hopefully, if I get done in time. And then, you know, see where it goes from there. Oh, and then I have a special unboxing Christmas present from my friend and business partner, Mike Lorraine, 80s Broncos fans, as you know him. He specifically gave me a present and said, you have to open this live on your channel. Don't record it in advance and edit it. Nope, open it live. And he didn't tell me what it was at all. Any kind of hint. He just said it was something personal. So it's not like something I could just find on any store shelf. So that'll be Sunday morning. So you'll want to watch out, look for that after you're done opening all your Christmas presents. Anyway, that's it. I'm back home now. Show you a shot of the NorbCam van in all its splendor. I'll show you the Christmas lights a little bit later tonight, maybe. But that's it. Have a nice rest of your day. We'll talk to you all tomorrow on the live stream roundtable. All righty. You guys have a good one. Go Seahawks. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe and stuff. I'd really appreciate that. Like and share.